An undefeated season and a possible state championship are on the line for the Hightower Hurricanes. Quarterback A.J. Highsmith has Hightower at 13-0 and one step away. In their way are the Allen Eagles, with backup quarterback Tucker Carter taking the reins on offense, and Nate Bonsu and Steven Terrell on defense. The Eagles are just one step away from greatness. It's the 5A Division I title right now. From Reliance Stadium in Houston, Fox Sports Net and the University Interscholastic League are proud to present the 2008 Class 5A Division I State Football Championship. It's the final high school football game for the year 2008, and it matches two first-time participants in the title round. The Hightower Hurricanes of the Fort Bend School District here in the greater Houston area, a perfect 13-0, taking on the Allen Eagles of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Allen comes in at 14-1. Hi again, everybody. I'm Craig Way, pleased to be joined by Shay Walker as these two teams will compete for this, and we've already seen this once today contested, the 5A Division II state title captured by the Katy Tigers.
Well, and you really have to tip your hat, Craig, to Gary Joseph and the job that he and his staff did after losing the first two games of this season as the defending state champions. They really got on a roll, ended up getting tripped up by Cinco Ranch late in the season, but boy, during the playoffs, they were just fantastic.
Katy defeated Wiley 17-3 to win the 5A Division II crown. Hightower would love to make it a clean sweep for the greater Houston area, and the Hurricanes on a roll in the postseason.
Well, and you take a look at the road to the playoffs, that Cinco Ranch team in there sneaking in again. That was the toughest game that Hightower has played so far, but yet you see that they've come out of the Region 3 and they're representing the districts very well, and hey, they've got a great opponent in Allen.
Of course, if you're talking about the Hurricanes, you start with their trigger man. That's their outstanding quarterback, A.J. Highsmith.
Yeah, Craig, and he is one of the guys, A.J. Highsmith, that does it on the ground, and he also does it through the air. He's a dual-threat quarterback, and as he goes, so goes this Hurricanes offense.
Well, what about Allen getting here to the state championship round as well? In the 5A Division I title round, Allen coming out of Region 1 and the always tough District 8 5A, which, of course, produced a state finalist today in Wiley. Plano in there as well, but Allen won the district title and then got on a roll in the playoffs and then had a dramatic win over Round Rock Stony Point last week in the semifinals.
But you take a look at those last couple of games, Permian, Euless Trinity, those are names you're very familiar with as being perennial powers. Round Rock Stony Point had a fabulous year this year. They beat the Woodlands, an undefeated team in the second round of the playoffs, 21-7. So again, this Allen team has been on a significant roll, and here's our guy, Tucker Carter, who threw the pass to Dakari Pesiconis for the touchdown with under a minute to go, Craig, to get into the state finals game.
So it is Allen getting ready to take on Fort Bend Hightower, and you talked about Tucker Carter, the trigger man. He wasn't the starter for most of the season, but he has been for most of the playoffs.
Well, Matt Brown was a starter, and he is about 1/3 of the offense for this Allen team on the ground. But Tucker Carter comes in, he's throwing the ball all over the lot, and so they haven't missed a beat.
Yeah, Matt Brown went down with a shoulder injury in the area round in their win over Coppell, but Tucker Carter has picked up the reins. So it's the Allen Eagles and the Fort Bend Hightower Hurricanes, the 5A Division I State Football Championship. We're about to kick it off next on FSN.
And one would.
Let's go down for the toss of the coin.
What did he call? Mr. Kelly, if you would. Gentlemen, hit the ground, please. It is a tails. Hightower, you won the toss.
Craig John Kelly.
Hightower's won the toss, elected to defer.
I know that you know him, but as do so many people in the state of Texas, but as a young man out of Mineola High School, was recently inducted into the Texas High School Hall of Fame about a couple of years ago. So good to see him out there as an emissary.
Absolutely. A lot of emotion in the stadium now. The Hurricanes and the Eagles ready to go. And another great sight, as always, is to see the marching bands adorned in Christmas attire. That's when you know your team has really had a great season, when you're playing close to Christmas. And here we are, 5 days away from Christmas and ready to go with the final high school football game of the year in the state of Texas. Jake Kane with a kickoff, and it'll be fielded at the 6-yard line by Jeremiah Williams. Williams, with some blockers ahead of him, takes it across the 30 and up to the 32-yard line. For the Allen Eagles, Tucker Carter, after that 27-yard return by Williams. It is Carter who leads the Eagles out there since coming on in the playoffs. He's thrown for 579 yards and completed 73% of his passes. What a job he's done for Allen this season, coming on in the postseason after the injury to Matt Brown. Allen will spread the field, and they will throw it all over the field, but Jeremiah Williams certainly a dangerous threat. From the 34-yard line, and the first play will be a screen set up, but unable to get it turned was Williams once he caught the football, and that's going to go for a 3-yard loss as we take a look at the Allen Eagle offense. Across the front, Taylor Pearson, Cody Milam, Richard Greer, also Brad McNulty, and Cedric Way also. Jeremiah Williams, you saw him in the backfield there. Marcus Thomas, Bradley Waddell, Zoma Wachaku, Kari Pesaconis, the receivers for the Eagles. Loss of 3 on the play, and it's 2nd down and 13 for Allen. Carter with a lot of time, and deep over the middle, and almost intercepted. He had Pesaconis open, but Delejeune almost came away with the interception.
Well, it was one of those throws, Craig, where he had the receiver and he had the route that he wanted, but he just drifts a little bit over the center line, and that allows Junaid to come across the top and almost make a pick. But again, for what Tucker Carter's seeing, his receiver is open and has beat the defender to the inside, but that's great coverage right there by Junaid.
He's one of those outstanding guys headed for the collegiate ranks as well, and it is 3rd down from the 31. 3rd down and 13 for Allen. Carter over the middle, and a big catch made. A first down across midfield is Bradley Waddell, and takes it all the way inside the 45. It's a pickup, 26 yards, and a first down for the Eagles at the Hightower 44.
Well, Craig, take a look at how solid this protection is up front for Tucker Carter. He's able to step up into the pocket unfettered, and he finds Waddell coming across the middle late, but the offensive line did a fabulous job of giving him time.
Allen goes no huddle, right back to work. Carter with some time. Now the pressure coming, and down he goes. Sean Lewis, the junior, outstanding weak side linebacker with help from Taylor Hicks, the junior defensive tackle on the stop, a sack, and a loss back to the 49-yard line.
You talk about the pressure, but it comes right up the middle. Taylor Hicks, as you said, and then, of course, Sean Lewis comes in to finish it up, and he's got what they call closing speed, but Taylor Hicks getting it after it in there in the middle is able to get to Tucker Carter.
Loss of 5 yards on the play, 2nd down and 15. Carter from the shotgun. This time on the end around, Waddell, and the defense once more not fooled there. Sean Lewis again. We heard Randy Rogers talk about this in the Dodge Drive to the Final show about how talented this young man is.
Well, you'll see on the replay here, he reads it extremely well. It's a little bit of a misdirection play, but he never goes off of his key. You see the head, never moved, never wavered. He knew right where he was going. He was waiting, he was patient, and then again, you talk about the closing speed. He is just so incredibly quick.
3rd down and 19 for the Eagles from the Allen 47. Once more to throw. And that pass incomplete, too high. And Carter took a shot in the head right as he got rid of the football. Marcus Thomas, the intended target, couldn't hold it. What a job by this Hightower Hurricane defense. Joshua Wesley, also Weekend, Calvin Davis, and Hobart Philpott, the down lineman, Philip Stewart, Thomas Luna, and Sean Lewis, the linebackers. And in the secondary, Colt Valencia, Janae Woodson, and Alex Francis completed. Alex Budar to punt the football, and Darius Johnson back deep to receive it for Hightower. A booming kick and a fair catch called for and made at the 24-yard line. A late flag comes in as well, right at the 24-yard line, a 31-yard punt, and we'll check the flag.
Dead ball. Personal foul on the return team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
So, Harvey Jackson was the one right there. You see the hit, and there were 2 Hurricanes there with that hit.
Well, tough to do when you see the guy, waving for fair catch, and you got your guy coming down and planting the gunners, if you will. Coach Hallmark not really happy about that, making sure to let the guys know about it. Say, what's the call?
So, A.J. Highsmith will bring the Hightower Hurricanes.
Oh, they marked it off the wrong way, Craig.
Yeah, look forward instead of backwards. And so it will be marked back half the distance, back to the 12-yard line. And that's where Hightower will go on the attack. Coach Westerberg saw his team pick up 1 first down before having to punt. And there's A.J. Highsmith. You see the numbers he's put up, only 3 interceptions all year long. First offensive play for the Hurricanes. A lot of time for Highsmith. Now with the pressure coming, he can run. And here he goes. And he'll settle for 8 yards down to the 20-yard line before he's brought down by Cheyenne Urban, the boundary linebacker for Allen. The rest of the Hightower Hurricane offense, Agata, Becker, Danielson, Peabody, and Jackson down the offensive front. The backs and receivers, London Hamilton in the backfield. Keep an eye on him. And outstanding receivers, Darius Johnson leading that group. Stephen Gardner, Bryce Edwards out there. Liddell Williams. Second down and 2 after that 8-yard burst up the middle from Highsmith. To the ground. That's London Hamilton. Hamilton going nowhere. It'll be a loss of a yard. Back to the 19 as Jason Butler swung over to make the tackle. For all the talk about these offenses, we're seeing defense come to the fore early.
You'll see here as Hamilton goes to his left. He doesn't find anything, but he tries to be a little patient and wait. And Jason Butler's having none of it. He drops it. Very good, aggressive defense, and you have to be impressed, Craig. So early in the ball game, the angles that these defenders are taking are spot on. They're absolutely where they need to be and putting them in place to make plays.
Third down and 3 for Hightower. Highsmith over the middle, caught, and still on his feet after the catch is Darius Johnson. Here he goes. Johnson with blazing speed down the sidelines. He'll not be caught. Darius Johnson will take it the distance. 81 yards for the touchdown.
Well, Craig, I think they're going to call him stepping out of bounds somewhere around the 42-yard line.
And they will mark him out at the 42. They'll have to settle for a 39-yard run after the catch. But what about the job Darius Johnson does here?
Well, not only does he catch the ball in traffic and has 2 guys kind of sandwich him, but he's got the presence of mind to take it. Let's see if we can catch a good shot there. Yep, just steps out of bounds right there on the tightrope. Great camel work, guys. Get another look at it here, but picking up a nice downfield block and trying to leg it out, and he just gets pushed out a little bit. Josh Reed coming over, gets him to get off stride and get out of bounds and saves the touchdown.
At the 42-yard line, 39-yard gain. Highsmith to Johnson, first down and 10 for the Hurricanes. Back to the ground before they can get it going. It'll be a false start. It'll cost Hightower 5 yards. London Hamilton, who'd been banged up during the year when he's healthy, he's dangerous.
False start on the offense. 5 yards. Still first down.
Let's take a look at that Allen Eagle defense. The down lineman. As you look at Annie Mbonsu and Jackson. Edwards, McBride, Urban, and Butler, the linebackers, and in the secondary for Allen, Reed, Terrell, Reeves, and Tyler Lamberson. First down and 15 for Hightower. The 47-yard line of Allen. Each team in its opening possession has been able to cross midfield. Allen was forced to punt after that. It's London Hamilton on the ground. Allen's going to get back to 5 from the penalty, and maybe a little more. We'll see where they mark it. Jason Butler, Chris Annia make the tackle. And it's back to the 42. So that'll bring up second down and 10. First drive of the ball game for Hightower after Allen picked up a first down before having to punt. On the shotgun now, Highsmith with London Hamilton offset to his right. On second down and 10, and he'll send Johnson in motion and hand him the football. Johnson with a big block. And there he goes. Darius Johnson will finish it this time, 42 yards for the first touchdown of the night. Well, Shea, if he didn't finish it on the touchdown catch on the big pass, he certainly finished it on the ground.
Well, and he gets a great block by inside receiver T. Basie, number 84, that creates that seam, and he has so much speed, Craig, as he took the handoff on that reverse, that he plants the right foot, and when he goes north-south, it's over. Basie gets it, that nice kick-out block, and there was nothing there but space. He's able to take it in for the touchdown, and it's his third rushing touchdown of the season.
Jake Kane with the extra point. Justin Sander doing the honors with the snap. And it took the Hightower Hurricanes all of 2 minutes and 16 seconds to move it 88 yards in 4 plays. The combination of Highsmith and Johnson off and rolling here at Reliant.
See the best teams in the state.
Tucker Carter getting a little refreshment. He's been able to complete some passes here early on, although the pressure's been heavy. But nevertheless, he certainly has impressed his head coach, Tom Westerberg.
Tucker Carter stepped in. Well, I've known Tucker for a long time. He's our offensive line coach's son, and been around him for a while, and knew that he could handle the pressure. And he stepped in, and second half of the Coppell game, week 2 of the playoffs, and his 3 starts have been against Permian and against Trinity and against Stony Point in the semifinals. And so far, he stood up to the test.
At the one interception there that stopped the second drive, and Carter will wait for an opportunity to go back on offense. But now it's A.J. Highsmith and the Hightower Hurricanes. London Hamilton on the ground. Flag comes down. Hamilton would be dropped for a loss, but let's check the flag.
Craig, I think they're going to get a hold on the offensive line on the guy that was tackling.
Either that or a face mask, Shea, that was coming on the tackle as well. Let's get the call here.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense, 15 yards, first down.
Thought I saw the head bob of London Hamilton there on the hit for the tackle.
You saw the defensive lineman for Allen as he was getting blocked. He just swarmed over and he pulled London Hamilton down with him. Really couldn't see what he was hitting, but the pressure from the side, and you'll see it just comes out over the top. Right here where he's getting blocked. He fights off of that block trying to get into. Wow. I don't know about a face mask there.
Well, that reach out was why it was called. Here's Hamilton back to the ground on first down, and a gain of a couple to the 31. Nate Monsu with the tackle.
Well, that was Corey Jackson that made that play early.
Jackson was the one reaching out there. Caught enough of the face mask, and that's why 15-yard penalty was marched off. Second down and 8. Hightower from the Hurricane 31. Second quarter in this 5A Division I state championship. Hightower leading Allen 7-0. E.J. Highsmith out of the shotgun. Hamilton offset, back to the ground. Hamilton bounced off one tackler, but the knee went down at the 29-yard line.
They lost a couple of yards.
So it'll bring up third down and 10. The 2 yards picked up on first down or surrendered on second down. And now Hightower brings up third and 10.
When you look at the blue jerseys that won the battle on the line of scrimmage right there, I mean, you got guys that are pushing back and getting into the backfield, which forced London Hamilton to hit the ground.
Well, and you saw him, he kind of bumped up against Highsmith's leg and went down, and now it's third down and 10. Highsmith with 4 wide receivers, and the slot at the top of your picture is Darius Johnson. An eye on number 12 on third down. Highsmith with some time, looking for Johnson, and he's got him.
What
First
a catch.
down.
What a catch, Craig. You talk about a guy who you think is a speed merchant, or you know is a speed merchant, but my goodness, what a great job of going out and snaring that ball with the hands, coming across the middle. You talked about him as that slot receiver. Does a good job of locating the football, picks it up early. Nice throw by Highsmith, but even a better catch by Johnson.
23 yards and a first down and into Allen Eagle territory at the 48. See what Johnson has already done to this point. Liddell Williams, one of the receivers. Johnson at the bottom of your screen. On first and 10, the Allen 48. Back to the ground. Hamilton, actually that's Jermaine Longino, who takes it down to the 45-yard line. Longino, a junior, for a pickup of 3 on the play. Jeremy Reeves, the left corner, the senior, on the tackle. So it's 2nd down and 7. Hamilton had a brief rest. Now he'll come back on as Longino checks out. Once more, Hightower will spread the field and line up Darius Johnson in the slot, this time at the bottom of your screen. 2nd down and 7. And off play action. Setting up to the tight end and almost intercepted. It was looking for Stephen Gardner, the junior tight end, off his fingertips. And Stephen Terrell closing on the ball, in the future Texas Aggie almost came up with a pick.
Well, that was great defense by the entire Allen Eagle team, as they were not going to bite on that play fake. They wanted to try to, you see the Hightower offense, Craig, wanted to get something going out, a little bit of a naked bootleg. They had 3 receivers, including Darius Johnson. All of them were blanketed, and that Allen defense played that perfectly.
Twice already on this drive, Allen has put Hightower in the 3rd down situation. Couldn't stop it the last time. Let's see what happens here on 3rd and 7 at the Eagle 45. Highsmith with some time. Now he's got running room. Highsmith, a 1st down and more, and still on his feet, and slides forward to the Eagle 31. A.J. Highsmith, 14 yards of impressive scrambling. T. Bracey, the junior wide receiver, with a nice block to help spring Highsmith for a 14-yard scramble and a 1st down.
Well, that is the 2nd time that we've seen Bracey throw a block downfield like that. But I'm going to tell you what, Craig, you just can't defend what A.J. Highsmith just did, because the Allen Eagles were in perfect defense. They had all the receivers covered. They had their guys lined up perfectly, had the spy on him. But because of the width of the play and the spread of the play, Highsmith was able to break it back across the grain, and that's where he picked up the 1st down yardage.
And zone read keeper this time by Highsmith. Allen not fooled, and he drops him at the 30-yard line. Gain of a yard. Boy, we talked about Darius Johnson. What a job he's done.
This is the first 3rd down play catch that he made, where it looked like he took it all the way in, but as he gets knocked out of bounds, but on that reverse shortly later on that same drive, Craig, he gets a seam and he's gone. And we've seen him here coming back again, playing down. He makes another reception on 3rd down and picks it up, and he just makes himself available, goes up and snags that one for 23 yards on this drive to keep it alive.
2nd down now. They'll swing it to Johnson this time. And here's Johnson following a block. Has the 1st down and steps out of bounds right at the marker near the 21-yard line. But it looks like Darius Johnson has enough for the 1st down. Does so much after catching the football, Shay.
Well, and what's impressive to me about Darius Johnson is you see the speed, you know you got that. You've seen the hands and the toughness going across the middle. He's hard to bring down, Craig. You don't see him get knocked on the ground very often. And he's got 3, 4, 5 defenders around him, but he's got a he's a little slithery and a little wiry, hard to get down.
1st and 10, the ball at the 21-yard line of Allen. Hightower on the move again. This is a time-consuming drive. 10th play of this drive coming up here for the Eagles. Or rather for the Hurricanes at the Eagle 21. To Johnson again. Trying to pick up a block, and Allen adjusts. Limits the gain to 3 yards. Jeremy Reeves laying the big hit on Darius Johnson.
Stephen Terrell in on that one as well, fighting off of those blocks from the wide receivers, getting into Johnson.
2nd down and 7. And Allen's been able to limit the gains on 1st and 2nd down, Shay. It's been 3rd downs where they've been hurt here on this drive. And this will be the 10th play of this drive coming up. Highsmith already off to a good start through the air. 2nd down and 7. A blitz coming. Highsmith up the middle. Running room. Highsmith with a 1st down. Takes it to the Allen 6-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal. Tyler Lamberson, at least for the moment, prevented the touchdown. That's 17 yards on the run.
Yeah, just a design run right there off the zone read, and you see the A.J. Highsmith's got a nice little convoy of blockers there, white shirts, but then he also, after he gets by that 2nd level, you see the strength and the power as he runs through an arm tackle.
Highsmith marked down at the 6. 1st and goal. Hightower at the Allen 6-yard line. Back to the ground again. Picking his way through tackles is Longino. Picks up a yard to the 5.
I tell you what, Longino ended up on his backside as he was fighting through the middle there. The Allen defenders, as he got into the middle of that pile, looked like he was going to push forward, maybe get stalemate. He comes bouncing back out of the backside. A lot of heavy hats being laid in that interior right now.
And senior middle linebacker Mac McBride trying to catch his breath and hope they can put together a goal line stand. 2nd and goal. Ball just shy of the Eagle 40-yard line. Double wings with one of the wings being Johnson. Except it goes to Hamilton. Lowers the shoulder close to the goal line, but not across. Cheyenne Urban with a big collision there at the goal line. And it's 3rd and goal. Another 3rd down coming up, Shay.
Well, London Hamilton, he was running with a purpose on that play as he was trying to get into the end zone. And Urban able to bring him down short. Shane Hallmark thinking he's going to get into a touchdown because the seam looks so big. And then London Hamilton had a head of steam, but Urban brings him down, forcing his 3rd and just actually right on the 1-yard line.
3rd and goal from the Allen Eagle 1. Highsmith under center to keep himself, and he's hit.
Oh, no, he did not get in.
Short of the goal line, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, how about the front 3 or 4 for this Allen Eagle defense? Nate Bonsu, Corey Jackson, and LaChris Anium. Just stalemating, and Highsmith, you go back and look at it, maybe even lost about a half a yard as the knees go down early.
4th and goal for Hightower at the Allen 1-yard line. Hamilton, the running back. Johnson out wide. 2 wings. And Highsmith looking for Johnson in the end zone. And incomplete. Jeremy Reeves step for step with Darius Johnson. And Johnson finally denied. What a huge defensive stand made by the Allen Eagles, who take over inside their own 1-yard line.
Well, you talk about a defensive back being on the island and you're going against the explosive wide receiver. He doesn't lose sight of the football. He turns around, he gets that right hand in to break it up. That was just an outstanding play by Jeremy Reeves.
Now Carter out of the end zone. The catch made. It's going to be a minimal gain, a big hit. But Wachiku, I tell you, that's an important catch to make, Shane, when you're coming off the goal line like that and you're going to get hit. Uzoma Wachiku with a big catch. Colton Valencia with a big hit. It only goes for 3 yards, but
a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, just a little bit anyway. Carter will take this snap 2 yards deep in his own end zone. Kyrie Owens is the running back on 2nd down. Carter again to throw, this time to Waddell with a catch and a 1st down. And now there's some breathing space out to the 14-yard line. Jelani Johnson the tackle, but Bradley Waddell with the catch and an 11-yard gain.
Craig, I can't tell you how good of a throw this is as he throws it on the back hip of Waddell. As you see the Hurricane defender, he's in the throwing lane. And Tucker Carter sees that, and he throws the ball on the back hip, that backside of the 3, and Waddell's able to come up with the catch. Back
to the ground now, and for a gain of a couple is Kyrie Owens. Near the 17-yard line. 2nd down. Be a long 7. They'll give it just shy of the 17. So 2nd down and a long 7 needed for Allen. Clock moving late first half. The Eagles do have all 3 of their timeouts, trailing Fort Bend Hightower 7-0. Carter out of a shotgun, a quick swing pass. Bradley Waddell again, a 1st down as he'll take it just shy of the 25-yard line. Sean Lewis with the tackle. Now Shea with 2:04 to go in the half and moving the ball upfield. Maybe if you're Tom Westberg, you think about getting it downfield, managing the clock here, and see if you can get in the end zone before the half's done.
Well, now that you've gotten yourself off of the goal line and you picked up a couple of 1st downs, you can actually take more of your playbook into account. But I tell you what, I like the pressure that they're putting on this Hightower defense, going right at them.
Under 2 minutes remaining in the half. Carter looking to throw over the middle. Another big catch made, and then the football lost. Waddell loses it. It is a fumble, and the ball will go over to Hightower at the Eagle 35. More's the point. Tucker Carter is down on the field right now.
Dilla Junaid is the guy who forced the fumble, Craig. As he comes across, he just rakes the right arm right down over the top.
And Thomas Luna, the young man you see right there, came up with a fumble recovery.
Here you go. You're going to get number 4 right here. Take a look as he comes across. He takes that right hand. He just rakes it across Waddell. Waddell puts the ball on the grass, and he looked like he was going to make a big play, did Waddell, had he gotten by without losing the football. But, boy, Tucker Carter, it's good to see him jogging off the field under his own power.
Boy, he took a major hit from the Eagle 35. Highsmith leading the Hurricanes back to work. Outside and down to the 29-yard line. The catch made by T. Bracey, and he was immediately leveled by Jeremy Reeves, but that still works for 6 yards to the Eagle 29. Hightower not at the moment with a great sense of urgency. Under 90 seconds remaining in the half as they organize themselves offensively. Darius Johnson, the slot receiver at the bottom of your screen, but it's back to the ground, keeping on the zone read, and a first down inside the 25, down near the 23-yard line. Highsmith keeping Jason Butler the tackle, and a first down. Now 1:14 to go, and if you're Shane Hallmark, you're thinking about the clock management at this point.
Well, you do have to think about that, but you figure right now, Craig, you're sitting here on the 24-yard line, 23-yard line, and you've got your timeouts. I don't know. I think right now you got to feel pretty good, Shane Hallmark. Offensive coordinator Barry Abercrombie pretty much have the playbook open to him right now.
With a minute remaining in the half. Here's Highsmith. Gonna run. Highsmith for 3 yards down to the 20, and now
use the timeout.
Hightower will use its first timeout. They signaled for one, but the clock, yes, it is stopped at 48 seconds. Out of the timeout, 2nd down and 7. And Highsmith the throw. That one on the ground, incomplete for Bryce Edwards. The pass a little low, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Don't want to leave out certainly Sulphur Springs and Tyreek the Freak Rollison. Ty Rollison and Sulphur Springs with a shootout today in the Alamo Dome as they defeated Dayton 69-49 to capture the 4A Division II state title.
Another nice run for Dayton into the playoffs as well.
Absolutely. Making it to the state final round before falling there. 3rd down and 7 from the 20. Hightower has been proficient in the 3rd down department, 4 out of 5 in this category.
But I'll tell you what, on this particular series, Craig, Allen has been bringing the heat. They're bringing it again off the corner.
Here comes the blitz, but outside, incomplete. Looking for Hamilton out of the backfield, and there it was, the blitz.
They came all 3 plays on this drive. Allen defense did. They came and they brought pressure up the middle. They brought it on the outside on that last play, but I think that really has worked well for them on this series to kind of slow this Hurricanes offense down.
Jake Kane will try to tack on 3 points. This will be a 37-yard field goal try for the junior. Jake Kane, who has 10 field goals this season. Out of the hold of Ben Clark, senior receiver. Justin Sander, the senior, is the deep snapper. 37-yard field goal try. And that kick, a low liner, and it will curve left, no good. So the Allen turnover does not hurt the Eagles other than take an offensive opportunity away, but they don't give up points on the defensive side, and it's still a 7-0 game.
Well, Craig, think about that too, though. This Allen team started that drive in the shadows of their own goal line, about the half-yard line, after having stopped it on that 4th and goal effort. Now they take the ball out, but then the fumble by Waddell, so a lot of the momentum seemed to be going the Fort Bend Hurricanes' way. But coming up again with a nice stop, and you've got to give a lot of credit to that Allen defense.
Back to the ground. This time it's Kyrie Owens. And Owens up to the 26-yard line and not wanting to take a risk there. And Allen perhaps content to let the clock run out and just go into the locker room down 7. But they have Carter looks to the side to see if there'll be another play call here, but it's down to 10 seconds remaining in the half, and the Eagles are going to go to the locker room down 7-0. They had 2 turnovers in the first half, one coming as they were on a march, the second one coming off the goal line. Hightower had 1 big touchdown drive, a couple other drives that were later stymied, and it's a 7-0 lead for the Hurricanes here in the half.
Well, the Allen offense, Greg, as you said, has played extremely well in the first half of this ball game against a ridiculously talented Hurricanes defense. And Allen, you see him kind of pushing the ball around. They're challenging that defense. And But when they've had to make plays, that Hurricanes defense has stood up and turned the ball over, as you said, twice.
Let's go down to Layla Rahimi with Coach Shane Hallmark.
Coach Hallmark, what did you say to your kicker, Jake Kane, after he missed that field goal?
Well, he was blaming the holder that didn't give him enough time, and it was his fault for dialing around out there, taking too much time on the field. You know, we weren't ready, and we had to snap it. I didn't want to take a penalty there, and so that's all it was. He shouldn't be complaining about his own players.
Still a great defensive effort, though. You have a shutout going into the half.
Well, we left too many points out there. It's whatever. I probably should have kicked the field goal. I don't know, but we blew some chances to really have a big lead, but oh well, we just got to come out and play.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck to you in the second half. Craig, back to you.
Okay, all right, thanks, Layla. You know, here's a coach of a team that's leading going in, but to hear it, he would look at it differently.
No complaining to the kicker now.
Absolutely. 7-0, Hightower.
I set my letter in.
One half of football to go. You look at what Hightower did offensively in the first half, and looking at those possessions, it started off really well, and they moved the football, but the turnover hurt them, and then, of course, the missed field goal. And you heard Coach Hallmark talking about that, Shay, at the end of the half.
Well, it did, and you look at that third drive where they had 14 plays, cover 85 yards. They got it down about the half-yard line, not able to punch it across and get points. And really, for me, I think that's where Allen kind of got resurrected a little bit, if you will, and kind of felt like they're back in this ball game.
And they'll get the football to start the second half. Darius Johnson, LHA back deep to receive it. It'll bounce to Johnson at the 9-yard line. Johnson shakes off one tackle, and here he goes. Look out now, and ran into a teammate. Otherwise, he could have brought it back all the way, but for a collision with a teammate. It was a 26-yard return. Otherwise, it would have gone all the way had he not collided.
Well, Darius Johnson, Craig, was making too fast of a move too quickly, if that makes any sense, because that's how he runs into his own player. If he is just a half step patient, he's able to get through there untouched, and he might have taken that to the house.
Tony Andres was the young man with whom Johnson collided, but Hightower will operate.
Well, nonetheless, though, you still look at Darius Johnson with the ball in his hands, man. He is exciting to watch.
First down and 10 to the ground. And on the ground, it's Longino on the carry. Takes it across the 35 to the 36. And I'll tell you what, Hightower's big three, and what a big first half they had, although Hamilton was contained somewhat.
Yeah, you just go back, and really Darius Johnson was the guy that was the difference. You see the 5 catches for 96 yards and then the 1 carry. He's the team's leading scorer, Darius Johnson, as a wide receiver. He's put in a couple of touchdowns on the ground. He's caught 13 touchdown passes coming into tonight's game, so he's definitely the guy to kind of keep your eye on.
Allen bringing a blitz, and Longino manages to fight forward for a couple to the 38-yard line to bring up 3rd down and 5. And, you know, Shay, we talked about how the Eagle defense has been blitzing a bit more here. They started in the second quarter doing that, brought it again.
Well, I think they're doing it, and Craig, it's out of comfort. That's Jason Butler. Guys come in, he's got 126 total tackles, very active on that outside linebacker position, but when he sees that run key, he comes crashing down the line, and he's so fast, so aggressive, he gets it back in the backfield.
3rd down and 5 for the Hurricanes. And Highsmith with some time and a lot of running room. A first down and still on his feet. A.J. Highsmith into Allen territory to the Eagle 47-yard line. A great 3rd down scramble, and it goes for 16 yards.
Craig, we have seen him do this time and time again throughout the first half of the ball game. The coverage downfield is good. The pressure up front is good. And he just breaks containment, and he makes so many things happen as he gets out into the open field. He's not the blazing fast runner, say, as a Darius Johnson is, but he's so effective. He will not go down on an arm tackle, and he's able to convert another 3rd down off that scramble. And you see he does it kind of cutting back across the grain. Once he sees a little bit of space, he's able to use those downfield blockers extremely well.
Hurricanes have the football at the Allen Eagle 47. Opening drive, 3rd quarter. Hightower with a 7-0 lead. Highsmith with a pump fake, now going deep. Looking down the sideline, juggled in, caught, and then dropped. Bryce Edwards had it in his hands, fighting Jeremy Reeves all the way up and down, and Josh Reed. But it was Reeves who came over and managed to get just enough of the football.
But Jeremy Reeves had that great pass breakup early, and he was actually in the best position to defend that ball and just not able to control it on the way down. As you see, it bounces and bobbles around there. It's an outstanding play by Jeremy Reeves.
Boy, it was real close. Edwards almost had it. It trickled out at the last moment. And Bryce Edwards hobbled a little bit as he heads to the sideline. 2nd down and 10. Johnson. Slot receiver at the bottom of your screen. Longino, the running back. On 2nd down and 10. Another blitz coming. Longino trying to skirt outside. And the first man to kind of trip him up a little bit was Mitch Hartshorn, a junior boundary linebacker. Got a little piece of the ankle, and it slowed up Longino, and Brandon Turner finished him off.
Well, the Allen defense is very aggressive, Craig, and they're coming after this run game of Hightower. They want to try to force them to throw the football, and you like the way that they come up and they're very aggressive. And Hartshorn, he got in, and as you said, he tripped up Longino. Longino still, though, was running into a wall of a couple of Allen Eagles.
3rd and 10 for Hightower. We always talk about big 3rd downs. This is big on both sides.
Well, look, this is the problem now that Allen has had in shutting down this Hightower offense.
Here's Highsmith with some time to the air and a catch and more. Down inside the 35 is Linnell Williams, the senior receiver. It's his first catch of the night, his 30th of the season. It goes for 15 yards and a 1st down.
You see at the top of your screen here, Linnell Williams does a nice job of not committing too early to the cut. He cuts at the last second, which allows Highsmith to find him. He catches the ball securely and is able to bring it down for the 1st down.
At the Allen Eagle 33-yard line.
And the defense, not bad coverage there. Just a good pitchy catch for the 1st down. Linnell Williams uses that big frame to shield off the smaller defender.
Darius Johnson, one of 2 wing backs set up to either side of A.J. Highsmith. On 1st down, it is Johnson against the call. Sweeping outside into the slot and down to the 29-yard line. A gain of 4. Matt McBride, the middle linebacker, on the tackle for Allen. Brings up 2nd down and 6. At the 29, Highsmith, a quick glance to the sideline as he looks for the instruction. Allen defense needing a stop here in order to prevent this from being a 2-score game. On 2nd down, 3 wide out set. Longino, the running back. It is Longino getting the call and good running room inside the 25 and a yard short of the 1st down. Brought down at the 24-yard line by Hartshorn, and it's now 3rd and 1 for Hightower.
The third down, Craig, of this series. Obviously, Hightower has converted on the first 2. The scramble originally by Highsmith, and then the nice throw out to Liddell Williams. Now a much more manageable 3rd down with only 1.5 yards, 2 yards to go.
3rd down. Hightower, as Shea pointed out, has been good on this department. 6 of 8 in the 3rd down department. They'll get another one. Another conversion inside the 23 and down to the 22-yard line as Longino on the run. And it is 1st down. Jermaine Longino's done a good job on when London Hamilton's been injured this year, and Shane Hallmark told us that this week. He said he's really stepped in and done a nice job. We've been pleased with his work.
Yeah, London Hamilton is more of that kind of that compact back, if you will, and Longino has got a little bit more range to him. He's got more of a slashing type of a running style, and he's been able to be effective kind of working inside that tackle box, but taking kind of sharp angles out and he's getting behind those big linemen to see if he can't find the crease.
Another Dodge drive of the championship update coming up at the end of the 3rd quarter on 1st and 10 from the 22. Here's Highsmith. Got running room if he wants it. A flag goes down. Highsmith will make a really nice run, but this looks like it'll be coming back.
Holding offense. 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat 1st down.
Take a look right here as Highsmith starts to break down. The pocket starts to break down right here at the point. Oh, a little quick on the camera there. Not quick enough on the telly, but either way, got the hold, and Highsmith's able to break containment, pick up what would have been a 1st down, but puts him back now, scrimmaging from the 32-yard line.
So it's 1st down and 20. Bryce Edwards. Gracie and Darius Johnson all split to the top of your screen as split receivers. Liddell Williams at the bottom of the picture. And going down the middle, nobody there with blue jerseys. It's short as something didn't work out right on the offense there for Highsmith and the Hurricanes.
Yeah, but big check mark there to number 17, Matt Edwards, for Allen, because he absolutely stoned Darius Johnson. Darius Johnson was the inside receiver on that three-receiver set, and he tried to do a double move, and when he went for the double move, he ran right into number 17, Matt Edwards, and Highsmith had already let go of the football.
Second
defense.
And it is now second down and 20 for Hightower. Formation. And Highsmith with some time looking down. Pressure comes, gets rid of the ball, and incomplete. That's a hurried throw intended for Longino, but Allen bringing the heat, as we talked about, on the blitz and forcing Highsmith to get rid of the football a little quicker than he wanted, and it goes incomplete.
Well, Brandon Turner in the nose. Take a look at him, Craig, as he comes out. What a good job he does getting off the blocks and putting the pressure on A.J. Highsmith. Fights through the double team, pushes right up, forces him out of the pocket. Corey Jackson also there, and Chris Anium to put a hit on Highsmith.
Now it's third and 20. 12th play of the drive coming up for Hightower, and they are 7 out of 9 in the third down department. Third and 20 now. Set up or screen outside of Edwards, but Allen ready for it and limiting Bryce Edwards to a mere 3 yards. A big third down stop there for the Eagles, and it's now fourth down.
How about the play, the hustle, and the heart of LaChris Anium, the defensive end, who chases this play down. Here he is right here on the screen. Take a look as he sees the wide receiver screen go. Look at that big man running down and forcing the receiver out where he can't, Bryce Edwards, where he can't pick up the first down, and that's a big man. Chris Anium running down the wide receiver.
Now, Jake Kane will try a 46-yard field goal. He does have a good leg. You heard Shane Hallmark said he can't be blaming a snapper or the holder. He's just got to do his job, and everybody has to do theirs. He'll try to do the job here from 46 yards out to try to make it a 2-score game with snap and hold. But this thing wobbles short. It's no good. And Allen's defense holds again. So the Eagles still very much right in this football game, only down 1 score, 7-0 here. 6:07 to go in the third quarter of the 5A Division I state championship. Allen coaching staff happy with the miss. Now the Eagles get the football.
The best.
Allen gets the football now for the first time in the third quarter. They start from their own 29-yard line, trailing Fort Bend Hightower as they have since early in the football game. But it's a 7-0 game and another defensive stand. So now the Eagles get an opportunity to go on the attack here in the third quarter. They start on the ground, and it's going nowhere. Once more, Hightower's defense ready as they went to the ground, and big play made, a big hit coming over for Hightower.
Yeah, that defensive front, you talk about getting penetration. You got a couple of offensive linemen for Allen back on their heels a little bit just because of the pressure up front they're trying to pull out, but the pressure kept coming.
On second down, Carter hit as he throws. Pesliconis with the catch and a first down and still on his feet. Not quite a first down. He's shoved out about a yard shy of the first down by Sean Lewis. Let's go down to the sidelines to Layla.
Well, Craig, I'm sure you remember at what age you decided you wanted to become a broadcaster. And 11 years old is the age of our future broadcaster, Alex Lancaster. Alex, you have to explain your shirt first because it's a big story as to why you won the FSN broadcaster contest, right?
Yeah. Okay, well, we actually went to this Pascal football game in Fort Worth, and I was going to see this guy, Christian Payne, right here. And there was a little Fox Sports News tent, and we just went inside and read a little cue card. And it was like 2 months ago. We didn't think of anything of it, and we didn't even know it was a contest, first off. And so a couple months later, I get back from basketball practice, I hop in my mom's car, and my mom's like, Alex, I just got this call from a guy from FSN. He said he won $1,000 and he gets to go to Houston for the high school football championship games. And I'm like, oh my God, no way. So yeah, it was really amazing.
And you've already done a great job just in this interview. Give me a sample of what you said on the air. Can you remember?
He was asking me about what I'm going to do with the check and what I'm going to spend it all on. And I said I'm going to see, we're staying at the Galleria right now. And I told him I'm going to go and spend it all day.
Well, Alex, you've done a great job in the broadcasting industry. Take the microphone and say, Craig, back to you.
All right, right back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Alex. And maybe she could have called that fourth down play about Allen going for it on fourth down. Deep in their own end of the field, they pick up a first down.
How about the hands by Justin Robinson to catch that pitch? It was not a perfect pitch because the defensive pressure was coming in. Tucker Carter got it out there reasonably well, but boy, Robinson did an amazing job, Craig, to not only catch the football, but to keep it secure and pick up the first down.
Justin Robinson stopped at the line of scrimmage. In fact, driven back for a loss by Thomas Luna. Back to the 39-yard line, a loss of a yard. It is second down and 11 here with 4:20 to go in the third quarter. And a 7-0 lead for Hightower. Carter with some time and dumps it to Pesaconis. Starting in the middle, outside, and Dakari Pesaconis with a first down. Into Hightower territory at the Hurricane 43. Philip Stewart, the tackle, 18 yards. Tucker Carter to Dakari Pesaconis.
Well, Pesaconis took a major shot at the end of this run. You see him here at the bottom of your screen coming across. Carter picks him up, makes the play, and then how about the downfield block? Just beautiful right there by Waddell, just screening off the defender. Didn't really block him, didn't have to. But then Pesaconis and that backside pursuit coming down the field took a big shot. Good to hang on the ball.
And there he is again. Pesaconis the catch. And inside the 5. Carter going deep to Dakari Pesaconis. 41 yards. It'll be first and goal.
I gotta tell you what. Now, after having run all the way across the field, made the catch, took a big shot, lines back up. Here he is at the bottom of your screen. It's a little bit of a blown coverage. The cornerback let him go. He didn't release him out to the safety. Pesaconis is running free. Tucker Carter threw a perfect ball down there. How about the catch on the ear? And he's able to kind of keep the balance and fight down to get into the 2-yard line.
First and goal from the 1, and Carter knocked down. The ball came loose. A scramble for it.
Well, they're showing second down right now, so Allen must have gotten back on the football, but my goodness.
And it was Carter, I think, who fell back on the football, or, well, there were a couple of different ones out there who had an opportunity to land on the football, and it was Justin Robinson who fell on it. Back to the 3, loss of 2, second down and goal. Allen trying to get on the scoreboard and even this 5A Division I state championship game. Second down and goal. Carter looking to throw. Wide open in the end zone. Touchdown. For the Eagles, Jeremiah Williams out of the backfield.
Greg, I tell you what, Jeremiah Williams lines up on the right side of the formation. He runs out to the left as Tucker Carter fakes the handoff to him, and Carter continues to roll out to the right, and he's able to find Jeremiah Williams all alone in the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point by Alex Buadar is good, and Allen is on the scoreboard, and the state championship is tied at 7. Under 3 minutes remaining, third quarter.
And what would this
Tonight's 5A State Football Championship game is brought to you by Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen, that's what I like about Texas. By State Farm, proud sponsor of the UIL State Championship Series. And by Dodge. Grab life. Visit your local Dodge dealer today. And by Academy, the right stuff, the low price. Well, it took the better part of 3 quarters, but the explosive Allen Eagle offense finally is on the scoreboard. Jeremiah Williams on the receiving end.
And here's Jeremiah Williams. He lines up on the right side, and you're going to see then the direction is going to come back this way. And you see Carter just stays patient, stays calm, throws a very catchable football. Jeremiah Williams ties up this ball game.
So, the kickoff to come for Buadar. It is fielded at the 8-yard line by Colton Valencia. Valencia up to the 22-yard line, brought down there. 15-yard return, and that is where the Hurricanes start. From the 22, 2:53 to go, third quarter. A.J. Highsmith will lead the Hurricane offense back onto the field. Now in a 7-7 tie. Well, the Allen defense kept coming up with stops. A couple of missed field goals. And now they finally get the equalizer. Don't forget DVDs of Fox Sports Southwest coverage of today's and tonight's state championship games are available. As Hamilton carries for a yard to the 23-yard line. Tracy Smith, junior defensive end, makes the tackle. Tonight's game and today's game available for just $24.99 from Game Tapes. That's www.gametapes.com for the Fox Sports Southwest 5A football finals on DVD. Trying to stay loose there as you see him pumping those legs. Here's Johnson coming on the end around, looking for a block that isn't there. Now turns it up the middle, but he'll go down at the line of scrimmage. After all is said and done, no gain on the play as Stephen Terrell finally ran him down.
But how beautiful was that defense by Allen? They strung it out all the way to the right side. They maintained the backside relationship so he couldn't break it back around. I mean, they basically boxed him in. They all stayed at home, played the assignments perfectly, and came up with no gain.
I like that terminology. The backside relationship. They maintained it there.
Yeah, you got to have it. You have to keep that integrity. If you don't, a guy like Darius Johnson will break it on you.
Third down and 9 for the Hurricanes. London Hamilton back in the backfield for Hightower. Highsmith from the shotgun with some time. Over the middle, caught, and big running room after the catch by Hamilton. A first down. It looked like the Eagles were about to close the gap on him, but London Hamilton takes it all the way out to the 39-yard line. It'll be first down for Hightower.
Well, I tell you what, London Hamilton hit another gear when he caught that ball, Craig. It looked like there was a couple of Allen defenders just on that little short, kind of a push pass, if you will, almost like a shot put. Did Highsmith get it out to him, and it looked like he was going to have a couple of Allen defenders right on him, but as soon as he caught the ball, he got a little extra burst in it.
Hightower, another third down conversion. They've been sparkling in that department. First and 10 Hurricanes. Their own 39 here. Late stages of the third quarter. Highsmith going up top. Looking down the sidelines, and incomplete intended for Liddell Williams.
Well, that's good coverage right there. Andre Williams looks like he was a young man on there, but he was running step for step.
Williams, the senior corner, defending on the play, and it brings up second down and 10. Here's another look.
And you've got cornerbacks that can play like that against good, speedy receivers. Well, that definitely allows you to keep a lot more guys around the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 10 from the 39. Sweeping outside, Johnson looks for a slot, has it, a stiff arm, and down the sidelines before stepping out of bounds in Allen territory at the Eagles 48. Darius Johnson sweeping around the end and has a first down for the Hurricanes at the Allen Eagle 48-yard line.
Like Josh Reed, safety that had forced him out of bounds a little bit earlier in the first half, is able to do so again. And Craig, I tell you, each time it does it, looks like he's saving a touchdown, because if Johnson is able to stay in bounds, nobody in front of him, and nobody's going to catch it.
A minute to go in the third quarter and a 7-7 tie in the 5A Division I state championship. Johnson now 60 yards rushing tonight on 4 carries. And back to the ground, and oh my goodness, what a big hit on Longino.
Well,
Matt Edwards.
Yeah, coming out of that outside linebacker position. Take a listen.
We heard that collision up here when it happened live. Well, we've played 3 quarters of this 5A Division I state championship. The defense controlling things, but now here's second down and 15 for Hightower coming up.
Like I said earlier, I mean, right now for this Allen team, with all the momentum and the things that they've got going on their side, if they can force a punt out of this Hightower team, I know, again, as you said, it's only second down, but second and 15, you know, they've got an opportunity to see if they can't make something happen defensively.
On second and 15, A.J. Highsmith, a pump fake, flushed out, run, and down he goes. maybe a yard, if that. In fact, right at the line of scrimmage, call it no gain on the play. And another third down coming up. And like we said, they have been outstanding on third downs tonight.
I'll tell you, that was really a nice play right there by the Allen linebacker, Mitch Hartstone. He made sure that he did not let A.J. Highsmith wiggle around and cut it back across the game.
Hightower is 8 of 11 on third downs tonight.
Yeah, and they've not all been short third downs. Most of them have been more than third and 7 or 8 yards.
Third and 15 here from the Hurricane 47. Highsmith with some time, the pass, but Allen ready for it. Winds up being just a short gain out to Bryce Edwards. He'll be run out of bounds at the Allen 47-yard line. So it goes as a 6-yard gain. It's 4th down and 9. Andre Williams and Matt Edwards help use the sideline as a third tackler to force Edwards out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a very difficult chore for Bryce Edwards, because once he caught the ball, he had 2 guys surrounding him, one behind him and one on the side, and then he of course had the boundary and just shoved him right out.
What we're about to see is the first punt of the ball game for Hightower. Travion Jones to punt it. Low snap, but he has it. The kick is away. Fair catch called for, made, fumbled, and then recovered at the 17-yard line by Jeremy Reeves. 30-yard punt, no return. 11:03 to go in the 5A Division I state championship. Allen going back on the offense, and a chance for the Eagles. High ball game to try to move in front, because Allen scored or Hightower scored on its first drive after Allen was forced to punt.
But and they, Craig, as we've been talking about, they have been playing well offensively, but just haven't gotten the rhythm going until that last touchdown.
11:03 to go. 7-7 the score here at Reliance Stadium. Craig Way, Shea Walker, Layla Rahimi, Neil Beasley, and our Fox Sports Southwest crew with you from Reliance Stadium in Houston. We have 11 minutes, 3 seconds to go. Tucker Carter will lead the Allen Eagle offense out to their 18-yard line. 7-7 the score. Carter trying to set up the screen. The pass tipped right back to Carter, and he'll throw it upfield. And this is going to be a flag for an illegal forward pass. Carter goes down. Well, this is a tough play for the junior quarterback. He had it swatted right back into his hands and then threw it back downfield, and you can't do that.
Yeah, Joshua Wesley, the defensive end, climbs the ladder and tips it on that screen pass, trying to get it out to the wide receiver, and it goes right back into the hands of Tucker Carter, and that's just instinct taking over. I mean, right back in his hands.
Legal forward pass, second pass. Half a distance from the spot. Repeat first down.
And the spot foul is what really makes this a tough call here. You see again just the jumps on Joshua Wesley to get up and tip that ball.
Well, he did. He got high into the air.
But again, Craig, on the spot foul, dropping it down to half the distance, that's puts this Allen Eagle offense back in a very precarious position on their own 2-yard line.
They had to start a drive from their own 1 after a goal line stand in the second quarter. Carter from the end zone. Out to Williams with a catch, and he'll turn it upfield to the 6-yard line. Took a hard pop. Among those hitting him, Hobart Philpott, the junior defensive end.
Well, Colton Valencia came up and just absolutely blew up both the defensive end Philpott and the receiver Jeremiah Williams. See number 2. Sorry, coming up. That's Alex Francis. The young man headed for Rice has got an interception already in this ball game, and you can see Jeremiah Williams coming off the field again. And you hear Neil talking about nursing the hip pointer, and I can tell you, having had hip pointers, those are so incredibly painful.
Second down and 22. Set up the screen, that pass tip, and almost caught, almost picked off for a touchdown. Philpott almost had the tip drill pick 6 as Philip Stewart got his hands on the football. Not often you see a tip drill pick 6. It almost happened there.
Well, Philpott he was in the perfect position and put himself there and just not able to get the football. You see big number 40 coming up doing the same thing that you saw Joshua Wesley do earlier. You get Philip Stewart doing it now, but Philpott not able to come up to catch. Allen now with 3rd and a mile.
22 yards to be exact. Carter throwing downfield. Oh, my goodness, almost caught by Pesaconis. Alex Francis on the coverage, and that was very, very close. But Francis had the coverage, and it brings up 4th down.
I'll tell you, Pesaconis is an eyelash away from catching that football. And that was just a great play by Alex Francis at the very end to break it up. But Pesaconis goes up. You see him catch the ball in both hands over the top of his head, and you'll watch the right hand of Alex Francis come right between the two hands and smack the ball out. Heads up play there by Francis.
Hightower ready to punt again. And Darius Johnson back deep to receive it. Hightower with time gets the kick away. A booming kick for Alex Hightower. Over the shoulder, Johnson fields it at the 41-yard line. And then he's hit hard. Down he goes. Retreated with it, and what coverage on the punt.
The coverage was amazing. The punt was equally amazing, Craig.
Keenan Turner making sure it was a -6-yard return as he really laid a lick on Darius Johnson after a 53-yard punt by Alex Hightower. What a big punt at a time when Allen needed one. A.J. Highsmith with another opportunity for the Hightower Hurricanes. 9 minutes, 51 seconds to go in this 5A Division I State Football Championship in a 7-7 tie. I'll tell you what, for only 2 scores in this game, this has been very exciting.
Oh, my goodness. You're talking about a lot of hits being laid, a lot of big plays being made by both offenses, and defenses have been stingy when they've needed to be.
Highsmith with some time. Now the pressure coming. Escapes a tackler and throws on the run. Got a man caught. And into Allen Eagle territory, Liddell Williams with the catch down to the Eagles' 45-yard line, a 19-yard gain, and a 1st down. Let's go down to the sidelines to Layla.
And one of the happiest groups on the Hightower sideline were these ladies, the Hightower cheerleaders, 20 young men and women on the varsity and junior varsity squads. I'm joined by Erin Prestige. Erin, tell me about some of the awards that you guys have won.
Earlier this year, like during the summer, we went to a camp at UT, and we brought home 2nd place in both home routine and extreme routine. The home routine is a dance we made up, and we got 2nd place for a dance that UT made up for us to perform for the whole entire camp.
And they're also very spirited here. Craig, back to you.
All right, an interception by Mitch Hartshorn brings it across the 40 and into Hightower territory, all the way down to the 37-yard line. Mitch Hartshorn, the junior boundary linebacker, the pick, and a return of 27 yards.
Well, did he do a fantastic job of playing off the eyes of A.J. Highsmith. A.J. looks down and he steps right in front, and you talk about just playing the quarterback perfectly. I tell you what, A.J. Highsmith had to get on a horse to get out to knock Hartstone down, or he'd have gone into the end zone.
Now Allen with its best opportunity to take its first lead of the night. 1st down and 10 at the 37-yard line. 9:12 to go. And down the field, wide open, a catch, and an Allen Eagle touchdown, Marcus Thomas. 37 yards, and for the first time tonight, Allen leads.
Greg, we had a blown coverage earlier by this Hightower defense. Looked like another one because Marcus Thomas had no one. I'm talking about no one within 15 or 20 yards of him. Everybody playing down, looking for the check down pass. Marcus Thomas just runs it out deep, and all he has to do is catch the football and waltz into the end zone.
Hightower with the extra point. And Allen has its first lead of the football game with just over 9 minutes to go. Senior wide receiver Marcus Thomas, his first catch of the night, and it goes for 37 yards and a touchdown.
Well, Greg, I tell you what, I love the play call by offensive coordinator Jeff Fleener. This is one of those plays where we have seen this Allen defense, Allen on defense, attacking, running the blitz, going right downhill, trying to play this Hightower team. Head up, nose to nose. You see them on offense again, taking their shots when they can. You saw the interception earlier that Carter threw, that Alex Francis intercepted. But this Allen offense and defense have been going right at this Hurricane team. And Now Marcus Thomas comes up big with the touchdown, and how about the throw by Carter?
And that's Mitch Hartshorn who set it up with the interception.
Wow.
And the 27-yard return. Hightower with a kickoff. And a good one. Deep into the end zone. 5 yards deep, and bringing it out is Francis. Alex Francis will bring it out to the 18-yard line. 23 yards, counting the 5 yards deep in the end zone.
Yeah, Hightower bombed it. Talk about the punt that he had, which was amazing to get his team in decent field position. I mean, he punted from about 4 or 5 yards deep in his own end zone. He bombs it out there, but then on that kickoff, too. There you go, Craig. Look, talk about a pressure punt right here. I said 6 or 7. He's more like 8 or 9 yards deep, but he absolutely hammered that punt. It looks like that was one of those things that come out of the jugs machine.
Yeah.
Flicks it up, turns it over perfectly.
How often do we talk about flipping the field position?
Oh, yeah. Talk about how big it is, too.
In a span of a couple of moments. Now, Highsmith from the 18 will hand off. Hamilton, delay draw, and he's dropped for a loss back to the 15-yard line, a loss of 3.
Well, that defensive front for Allen, Chris Anium, Nate Bonsu, Corey Jackson, they were flat getting after. Brandon Turner in a couple of plays ago, Tracy Smith as well. I mean, those guys were just getting after it.
Second down. Ball at the 18-yard line. At the 15-yard line, the original line of scrimmage, the 18, and second down and 13.
You got to find your home run hitters. You've got Darius Johnson lined up here in the slot.
On second down, Highsmith, pressure coming, tucks it in, down he goes. The Eagles ready to get him. Brandon Turner reaching in for the sack, and a loss of 3 more back to the 12.
Well, that is just a big play by the front 3 guys, Craig. They're only rushing 3 guys, and you see them getting leverage, but they're keeping their heads up, making sure that Highsmith is not going to be able to break that containment. So even if they're getting blocked, they're not giving up their lane assignment. And then just coming across Brandon Turner, you talk about effort. That's just a lot of want-to right there to get down and get around Highsmith's ankles.
Third down and 16. We mentioned Hightower's proficiency on third down, but they didn't convert the last one. So for the night, the Hurricanes 8 or 12. Highsmith wasn't ready for the snap, and he'll have to go down. They won't convert this one. And it'll go to fourth down. And maybe, Shea Walker, maybe you give a little assist to the Allen Escadrille. The marching band, so big, so large, and so loud at that end of the field.
But they're right on top of the field, Greg. Good call. But Highsmith, as you said, not ready for the snap. Center Steven Danielson getting it back there, but missed the coordination. And now you've got the punter for Hightower. He's standing on the end line. And that's not far enough back anyway.
Great Travion Jones signaling. And now has the snap. Pressure coming. The kick is away. And a good kick considering the pressure situation fielded at the 40-yard line. And it's Reeves who has it. Reeves still on his feet and down to the 25-yard line. 37-yard punt, 15-yard return by Jeremy Reeves. And again, field position has definitely changed.
Well, not only field position, Greg, how about old man momentum? He's changed as well. Jeremy Reeves, you're thinking he's going to go ahead and fair catch that ball, knowing that they're going to have good field position. He doesn't fair catch it. He gets good blocking by the Gunners, and he takes it straight up the field.
Tonight's 5A State Football Championship game here at Reliant Stadium has been brought to you by Dairy Queen. That's what I like about Texas. By State Farm, proud sponsor of the UIL State Championship Series. By Dodge, grab life. Visit your local Dodge dealer today. And by Academy, the right stuff, the low price. And around, coming back the other way inside the 15, 10, and down to the goal line. Touchdown, Jeremy Reeves. On the first play afterwards, Reeves takes it home. And Allen now has a little breathing room.
Craig, they're going to get a holding call. There's a flag down on the 6-yard line. The guys are Hightower clapping their hands a little bit. The last block that Jeremy Reeves needed to get around the corner.
On the offense, 10 yards. Repeat first down.
Gary Patak, referee with the call. It will be a first down.
And he's still going to get the gain from the yardage because the hold happened on about the 6 or 7 yard line.
So it was at the 7 where it happened. So.
But, Greg, I want to go back to the aggressiveness of this Allen team. After the turnover by Hartstone, after the interception by Hartstone, they go straight for the jugular and they throw the long ball down to Marcus Thomas. First play from scrimmage after getting the ball back on the short punt. They take Jeremy Reeves on the reverse.
Now they go back to the ground and inside the 15 and down to the 13-yard line that time. Sean Lewis on the tackle for the Eagles. Justin Robinson on the carry, the sophomore. Takes it down to the 13, a 4-yard gain. There's another flag down. Allen players indicating it's against Hightower.
The flag's in the same spot on the field where the hold call was. And now the referee looking like it's going to go against Allen. Yeah, let's see.
Dead ball. Personal foul on the defense.
Oh, you can't have that.
Dead ball. Personal foul on the offense. Those penalties offset. First down.
Offsetting personal foul penalties. It is a first down as the Eagles picked it up. It's at the 13-yard line because remember from the spot foul, they moved it back and they had not picked up the first down from where the spot of the foul was on the big run the first time through by Reeves. Now it's 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line of Hightower. Just over half of the final quarter remaining. Carter to throw to the end zone and just over the outstretched arms of Reeves, who was there. Jeremy Reeves, the target.
A little bit of a broken play there. Reeves lined up in the outside receiver position and on the bottom half of the screen as he rolls down. He's coming across the line. If he's able to stop, and if Tucker Carter is able to stop. Two big ifs when a lot of people are pressing and coming down on you. That would have been an easy pitch and catch. Carter got outside the tackle box, looked downfield. He located the receiver, but just wasn't able to get it to him.
On the option, Carter to keep inside the 10. And down to the 9-yard line goes Tucker Carter. Thomas Luna the tackle. And an important third down coming up for Allen.
The offensive line doing a nice job of getting blocks down. Carter looks like they're going to spot him back, Craig, over the 9-yard line. Looked like he got a little bit further downfield than that.
Ruling that the knee was down at the 9.
Getazuma Wachiku in that inside receiver position. Lined up right here.
Wachiku has been quiet tonight. On third down. Carter swings it out. There's the catch made down to the 5. Robinson, goal line, touchdown. Justin Robinson gives Allen that separation here with 5:17 to go.
You see, it's just a fluke release out of the backfield, Craig, but how about the move to get into the end zone? Justin Robinson, that's just a great individual effort. Not only does he catch the ball in the flat, he turns it upfield. He's got enough speed to get into the end zone, but he makes 2 Hightower defenders miss. There's a flag down on the extra point attempt.
Cody Phillips added the point after, the junior. And was offsides against Hightower, so it'll be enforced on the kickoff. Allen had a 71-yard, 9-play drive to tie the score, and now a 25-yard, 5-play march after the short punt. I go back to something that Hightower head coach Shane Hallmark said at the end of the first half that he told Layla Rahimi. We left too many points on the board, he said, and I'm sure he feels the same way about this third quarter. A missed field goal, turnover. They had opportunities to seize command of this game, and credit Allen for not letting him do it, but also some self-inflicted mistakes for the Hurricanes.
Well, a couple of missed field goals definitely hurts because it takes a little bit of the momentum off of the success that you've had in moving the football down the field. But having said that, I go back to Allen. I mean, they have been attacking both offensively and defensively the entire ball game.
And Buchheiter's kick this time squims down the field and is picked up at the 13-yard line by Francis. Up the field to the 30. Look out, that's Johnson rather, and here's Darius Johnson in midfield. Johnson with one man to beat down the sidelines. And forced out of bounds. Johnson all the way to the Allen 11-yard line. before it was Jeremy Reeves who forced him out. A 77-yard kickoff return for Darius Johnson.
Yes, sir. Darius Johnson has had a huge game. He has been the most explosive player on that Hurricanes offense, and you see here fielding the kick. This is the second time we've seen him get a kickoff and take it for a long way. But again, just another fabulous job, and you see the explosiveness going down. This Allen defense now, they better get the chin straps on.
It's at the Allen 11-yard line. A quick score here for Hightower, right back in the game.
Oh, absolutely, you bet. And this is the shot in the arm that they needed to get back into this ball game.
No question. They've got all 3 of their timeouts left. Highsmith as his receivers spread the field, and then Darius Johnson in the slot at the top of the picture. The slant caught, and a touchdown to Bryce Edwards. One play after the kickoff return.
Well, there was breathing room for a moment for the Allen Eagles. But A.J. Highsmith with a perfect pass down to Bryce Edwards. And he again just uses that long frame to turn over and get into the end zone for the touchdown.
Jake Kane for the extra point to pull the Hurricanes to within 7. And it's good. Exactly 5 minutes remaining here in the 5A Division I State Football Championship. And it's now Allen 21 and Hightower 14.
But Craig, you go back and you think about it now. You're up 21-7 if you're Allen. And you've really taken control of this football game. Everything's going your way. Your defense is playing well. You've kind of figured out the third down conundrum that you've been in all game. You force Hightower to punt. You know, everything is going your way. But, of course, Darius Johnson taking that kickoff back changes everything.
Eagles at first lined up as if expecting an onside kick, but now Hightower giving all indication that Jake Kane will kick it deep. But instead he pops it high. Fair catch called for and made at the 38-yard line as he settled underneath of it. And that was Ben Rodenbach who made the catch at the 39-yard line. So
well, you think with that defense that you have at Hightower, punch that thing down the field.
Well, I think that what Kane was trying to do was just pop it right over the first line and let it drop in, but he got a little more air underneath it. Rodenbach ran underneath it.
Well, Allen now scrimmaging with excellent field position, and again, as you said earlier, 5 minutes left in this ball game, and leading by a score.
From the 39. Carter. Pass incomplete. He was
a little too much juice on that one.
Looking for Reeves. What a big second half for these Allen Eagles.
You talk about the things that they needed to do and do early, they did. And you talk about the catch by Pestaconis, getting it down to the 2-yard line. Of course, coming back again, and you find Jeremiah Williams for that first touchdown. And then how about the field position turn of events here? The punt that got Allen out of their goal line, and then of course they were able to force Hightower into downs. Waddell making a nice play there. But they're able to force Hightower into downs, get excellent field position, put another score on the board. That's before Hightower comes back and puts their second score of the game on the board.
Bradley Waddell off the catch, the spin move right here. Takes it up to the 34-yard line, or rather, excuse me, the 44, but it's now 3rd down and 5 for Allen. Eagles running the clock, and this is what they want to do. Hightower has Allen in the 3rd down situation, and this is where they need a stop. 3rd down and 5 for the Eagles. Biggest 3rd down of a football game right here. Carter's going deep. Up the sidelines, incomplete. He was looking for Reeves. Allen sideline wanted pass interference call against Junaid, but not coming, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, Della Junaid is a fantastic cover guy. Tucker Carter going right at him, trying to see if he can't find the ball. And that's another deft throw by Carter as he's getting the ball on that back hip of the receiver. We saw him do it earlier with Waddell. He's doing it right there with Marcus Thomas, trying to get it out and do that precision throw.
Johnson back deep to receive the punt. Uhider's kick. He goes down, and a flag comes down. Here's Johnson. Breaking at tackles. Johnson was down at the 28.
Greg, there was a line of Allen Eagles. And Johnson was able to slip through that line. I mean, you talk about a guy who's so exciting with the ball in his hands. Is there going to be enough yardage to make this a first down on,
no, this
on the penalty?
This is going to be running into the kicker.
So he's only going to get 5, and they need about 6.
And that's why the referee, Gary Puntak, you see him run to each sideline telling each head coach it's still going to be 4th down, I believe is what he's saying. From the 44.
So the decision for Westerberg is does he like the starting field position that Hightower has now? It's really the question. Okay.
Running into the kicker.
He looks like he's putting the offense back on the field. We see Tucker Carter.
Defense. 4th down.
And we saw that earlier with the quick kick, so you know Carter's is capable of doing that. But, you know, if you're Hightower, you've got to be heightened sensitivity right here.
Yep, it would have been a 37-yard punt and an 8-yard return. Instead, it is 4th down and about a foot.
I was going to say, if you look at the chains, it's inside of a yard.
4th down and about a foot needed for the first for Allen. And here, it's now the biggest play of this football game.
All right, nobody deep for Hightower.
And we'll see what the call is here. Carter from the shotgun. A glance to the sideline. No one moving along the defensive front for Hightower. It's 4th down and a foot for Allen. Another long count. Waiting. Up to the sideline. Play clock. You see at the bottom of your picture. And Carter looking to throw downfield and caught.
What a great throw and catch. And, man, did Tucker Carter absolutely get leveled. I think that was Philip Stewart, the linebacker, who just flattened Tucker Carter. But he stands tall, and he throws for the first down to Wachaku.
Yeah, Uzoma Wachaku right there for it. And Carter is really shaken up. But it's
Take a look at that hit. Well, Craig, you see the hit there that Stewart put on. You see Tucker Carter's feet. You're going to see him go airborne. There's no way that he can see Wachaku. And he just delivers the ball perfectly. Number 7 secures it for the first down. But I tell you what, right now, Tucker Carter has got to be seeing double.
Carter now 20 of 29, 223 yards and 3 touchdowns.
And how about Jeff Fleener, Tom Westerberg, offensive coordinator and head coach for Allen Eagles, rolling the dice on 4th down.
So at the 46, first down, back to the ground. And now Allen trying to run the clock here. Now remember, Hightower is down to 2 timeouts left. So not choosing to take one here, just over 3 minutes to go.
Well, defensively, again, this is what you think about with this Hightower defense. Is it's even with a couple of minutes, this is not an easy defense to run the clock out on because they're so aggressive and they're so physical up front. I mean, they could stalemate you for three downs and make you burn a timeout, or excuse me, make you not use up very much time.
Carter remaining out there, quarterback, the handoff. Robinson in trouble, down he goes.
Well, Sean Lewis, Greg, was on that play from the get-go.
And now Hightower uses its 2nd timeout with 2:42 to go. It'll bring up 3rd down and 12 for Allen. Hightower has 1 timeout left.
Well, you really have to tip your hat. And you said this earlier, Craig, in the open, and right now with this late in the season, it goes a little unnoticed, but the Hurricane Ike disturbance for these Houston area teams has been a fairly dramatic event happening.
Handoff sweeping outside into the 40 and out of bounds.
Well, he looked like he tried to stay inbounds because he cut it back onto the inside to see if he could, and the tackle, the hit was so hard it forced him out of bounds.
Jeremy Reeves around the corner, and it was Philip Stewart. One more big hit knocked him out of bounds. It'll bring up 4th down. Now, it's 4th down and 2 for Allen with 2:35 to go.
I think right now, if you're Allen, the pooch kick is definitely in order. Go ahead and get in your little bit of alignment. Make sure that you don't have any Hightower receiver back there. Get down and cover the pooch.
So here it is, 4th down. Carter lines up in the shotgun, spreading the field. And he will look to throw, and it's caught! Bradley Waddell inside the 35, down to the 34 and a first down.
Just unaccounted for, Craig. You see him holding his hands out right now. I'm not sure how I was that wide open, but I was. And how about Tucker Carter making the right read, still throwing in the face of heavy pressure. He's able to get it out to Waddell on 4th and 2.
How about that? And now 2.5 minutes to go. The ball at the Hightower 23, and Allen may finally have the first down it needs to win, although there's still 2.5 minutes to go.
A lot of clock left right now.
And Hightower does have one timeout left, but a gigantic 4th down conversion for Allen. Their second one on this drive. A handoff, and then trundling straight forward is Kyrie Owens.
Greg, you go back to that 4th down play, the 4th and 2. When it was 4th and about a foot, when Tucker Carter found Wachiku, he went through a bunch of gyrations up around the line of scrimmage. He made a couple of play calls, and then he circled back to make that. On this 4th down, it was decisive. It was right off the bat. He goes up. He knows that he's looking for Waddell in the flat, and he's able to pick him up. And that, I mean, that's the difference in those two plays. Instead of going through a protracted kind of a gamesmanship, they snap the ball and go right at it.
Allen running down the play clock now. Under 2 minutes remaining in the football game. And off on second down. Once more, it's Kyrie Owens. And today made the tackle here. It's at the 17-yard line. Clock still moving. Again, Hightower has only one timeout left, and it's 3rd down.
Well, Kyrie Owens is only a sophomore, and that's got to make Tom Westerberg pretty happy to know that he's got that caliber of a back getting this type of experience for the rest of his high school career.
Each team with one timeout left. It's 3rd down and 4 for Allen. See the time remaining. Back to the ground again to the 15-yard line.
Hightower's trying to get their timeout in.
And it brings up Shane Hallmark, very upset that he couldn't get the attention of the side judge to get the timeout called. 1:08 to go.
Right now, looking down, you see the first 4th down. This is where Tucker Carter just absolutely gets lit up by Philip Stewart. But then I like the fact that they were so decisive. And did you see the ball, Craig? That ball was kind of wavering and wobbling when it got out there, and that's because Carter was under duress. As soon as he let go of the football, he wasn't able to get all of it, but it was enough to pick up the first down.
I'll tell you what, if Allen does hold on and win this football game, it'll be real interesting to hear Tom Westerberg talk about the decision to go for it on the 2 4th downs and his thought process and the play call and the execution of it all. And this will be the 3rd one.
He's not risking the opportunity to kick a field goal.
For the 3rd time on this drive, 12th play on the drive, Allen will go for it on 4th down. 1:08 to go, 4th down and 2. Carter will hand it back around the opposite side, and it's not going to be enough for the first down.
Diligent aid had that play snuffed out from the beginning, coming out of that free safety position.
It'll lose a yard as Wachiku on the reverse, knocked down by Jeremy Woodson and also Delagenade. And now Hightower with one final hope and no timeouts left starts 85 yards away, and they've got 63 seconds to work with.
Now, when we have seen this Allen defense get aggressive and they bring the pressure and they try to force Hightower into decisions and or break him out of the pocket, they have been successful in slowing down the Hurricanes offense.
So here comes Hightower. And of course, Alonzo Highsmith, AJ's dad, looking on. Hightower down 7. 1:03 to go. They start from the 15-yard line. A.J. Highsmith looking to throw on first down. Out to Johnson, too high and incomplete. Closing in quickly was Tyler Lamberson, but it now brings up second down. So second down and 10, and 58 seconds remaining in the game.
And one of the things that you do have to keep sight of if you're this Hurricanes offense. Yes, you've got a long way to go. Yes, you have to score a touchdown, but you can't lose sight of the fact that you also need to pick up some first downs along the way.
Highsmith is 12 of 22 for 170 yards, a touchdown and an interception. He needs a big gain now, and he has one gain and out of bounds at the 26-yard line, enough for the first down to Bryce Edwards. Goes for 11 yards. First down for Hightower, 54 seconds to go. So at least get some a situation where they're not in the third down.
Right.
but they have no timeouts left, so it's tough
play
to use,
right there.
Yeah, and it's tough to use the middle of the field, but eventually they may have to.
You're going to have to at some point. It's just if you can nickel and dime yourself. They've run 2 offensive plays, 1 complete, 1 incomplete, and they've only used 9 seconds of clock.
1st and 10 from the 26. Highsmith, the one thing he can't afford is a sack, and that pass is caught. It would have been better if to have been dropped. And it was caught by Bracy, but hit after just a short gain in the clock, moves with under 40 seconds to go. And Hightower's got to hurry. On 2nd down, and a spike now brings up 3rd down and 7 with 34 seconds remaining. Bracy was hit really hard, and of course, you never want to instruct a receiver to drop a football. I know you never were coached to drop a football.
You can't calibrate like that. You can't make that kind of a decision at the moment. You know, when you're going back, and of course, in hindsight, it looks like, oh yeah, that would have been better had I not caught the ball. But you know, Bracy did the right thing, because you never know. You might break a tackle, make a spin, do something good, and pick up big yards.
No doubt about it. So now it is 3rd down and 8 from the 28.
Allen only bringing 3, Craig.
And back to pass. Highsmith throws to the left. Ball is caught. It's enough for the 1st down to stop the clock at the 44-yard line. Liddell Williams makes the tackle. 16 yards. A 1st down to the 44. 26 seconds to go.
Not bad coverage by Jeremy Reeves.
And again.
But Liddell Williams is he's got that bigger body, that frame that he can put in front of the defender.
Highsmith will look to spike the football. He does. 1 second goes off the clock. 25 seconds remaining in the ball game. Ball's at the 44-yard line. Allen holding on to a 21-14 lead over Fort Bend Hightower. Hightower's Hurricanes, who've led most of this football game, but here in the 4th quarter, Allen taking over. Big plays, and they have the lead. And now, 2nd down and 10. 25 seconds left. Highsmith with some time, a lot of time, still looking, and has to get rid of the football, and he does. And that took 8 seconds off the clock for Liddell Williams. And if you're wondering about Darius Johnson, he has been blanketed since he's gone down. They're drawing double and sometimes triple teams.
Yeah, well, they're making, like I said, they're only rushing 3, dropping back into 8, back into coverage, excuse me, and that's making it very difficult for a guy to flash open. But, Craig, I would tell you right now, you said the middle of the field. There's 17 seconds left. You're 3rd and 10 right now. The middle of the field is a very viable place to go for the 1st down.
Johnson, one of 3 receivers. He's in the slot. And on 3rd down, Highsmith escaping tacklers now run, but a flag's going to come down. This would have been a 1st down, but I think this is going to be a hold. And that would nullify a 1st down with 10 seconds left. And it is coming back for holding. And A.J. Highsmith and Hightower about out of hope.
Well, he did a nice job, did A.J. Highsmith, of catching that ball. But you see he's getting horse-collared right there. The defenders, he's coming up and forces Highsmith out of the pocket. But now you're going back to now 3rd and a mile again.
66 yards away with 10 seconds to play in the state championship. Allen coaches trying to get the right personnel on the field. Had 12 men on, but they got the 12th man off in time. 3rd down and 20 from the 34-yard line.
Craig, and you've got defenders that are well beyond the 1st down marker. They're just trying to keep anything out of the end zone.
Highsmith throws downfield, ball caught and stepping out of bounds, but the time has run out and the ball game is over. Edwards made the catch, but he got there too late, and the Allen Eagles celebrate the school's first ever football state championship. Collin County, Texas, has known state championship traditions in the past. Plano, Salina, McKinney, Wiley, and now the Allen Eagles have their first ever state football championship. Consider also that Prosper won a state title this year. And Collin County, in some ways, is the football capital.
Well, I tell you what, the Allen Eagles came out today against an extremely talented Fort Bend Hightower team. And they went toe-to-toe with this team that has been dominant, both offensively and defensively. And I tell you what, Coach Testerberg cannot be more proud of that team and the effort. Westerberg could not be more proud of that team and the effort that they put in into winning this state championship.
Tom Westerberg's Allen Eagles, 5A Division I state football champions. We'll have the trophy presentation, interviews, and more coming up from Reliant Stadium in Houston right after this on Fox Sports Southwest.